Greetings and welcome to another episode of Q Points Podcast. I am DJ Sir Daniel.
And my name is Jay Ray, sometimes known by sometimes
You didn't
known by
think
my
about it.
government as Johnny Ray Cornegay III. And actually, what gave me pause there is we're
Mhm.
about to have a conversation about an album that really is definitive
Mhm.
when it comes to my childhood specifically. I remember all the songs. I remember the
Yes.
cover. I remember where I
Yes.
was when I first saw Anita Baker appear on my TV screen. So talking about Rapture actually kind of gave me pause a little bit.
So in the great conversation in Black culture, in talking about how recipes are passed down and how they're being lost now, because one of the big things that people like to say is that nobody gets up and makes their kids clean up
Mhm.
around the house on Saturday mornings while playing said album.
Yeah.
And although that's kind of hyperbolic, it's kind of the truth.
Yeah.
Because if you're of a certain age, you know that it may not have been cleaning up the house on Saturday morning. It could have been going out and getting the car
Yep.
washed. It could have just been it could have been riding the school bus in the morning
Mhm.
and the bus driver is playing your favorite local radio station on blast and they play a cut from Anita Baker's album.
Mhm.
And so I just know that, yes, as J. Ray said, specifically, especially for us Gen Xers, Anita Baker and the music of the album Rapture is omnipotent. It was everywhere. I know, don't get at me because I use the word omnipotent. I know it's used for Sky Daddy, but we're going to use it for Anita Baker
Yes.
today for this
Absolutely.
episode. So get into it.
um Coming into this conversation, I think is interesting. So and folks who are tuning in might not know this, but um the career of Anita Baker is a fascinating one. So she's from Detroit. Shout out to Detroit. And
Victoire, yeah.
yeah, and was part of a group called Chapter 8 who
Mm-hmm.
had a major hit that featured Anita Baker. But there was a lot of controversy with Anita Baker being part of that group. And there's a lot of stuff historically that have been written about what like the executives at the label felt, like how they felt about Anita Baker. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, it led to Anita Baker going solo. Anita Baker, of course, releases Songstress, which includes one of the
You're
greatest.
my
Oh,
angel.
Angel is one of the greatest songs ever written and performed. But that record was released on a label called the Beverly Glen Records. And so coming into Rapture, and actually I think this telegraphs Anita Baker's career long term,
Mm.
is there was a lawsuit at the very beginning, like before Rapture even gets to be put out. Anita Baker has to put on her boxing gloves and go to court so that she can get out of her deal and be able to release Rapture on Elektra Records. So even just the getting to the release of the record, she had to fight. So you're also feeling that energy in these songs where this lady who's recording this music is also literally fighting with her old label to get out.
And hmm, so Anita Baker's story is not singular. There's
Mhm.
plenty, and I do mean plenty of women, specifically Black women, that have had to have that fight um in and out of this industry, in and out of presenting their art to the world. And sometimes, you get the reputation,
Mhm.
you get the not so nicest reputation because, of course, a lot of women are expected to play nice
Mhm.
and to be lovely no matter what. But Anita Baker, I think when we talk about her, does not have the luxury of niceness. She does not have the reputation all the time
Mhm.
of being playing nice with the boys or even some of the other girls. And I think that adds, like you said, a certain flavor to her mythology. But I think it's important to say that she is the people's auntie. She's
Yes.
still the people's auntie. I'll never forget, what was that? That has to be about what, 10 years ago, when she announced her her grand
Mm-hmm.
farewell tour. And what did we all do? We
Baby
all
put on
ran
a
out and bought
Sunday's
the
best
tickets.
and went to
We
see
put on our
Anita.
tickets. I took my mom, that was like a Mother's Day present for her,
Mm-hmm.
down to the Fox Theater.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, maybe about a year later, she was back on tour, which fine. We get it, Anita, sure. But I go back to calling her the people's aunt because I want to present the image of Anita Baker in your minds that are listening and watching us right now. Anita Baker gave you that stacked short haircut.
Yes,
It was
baby. Well, it
it
was
was
up
it
here.
was cut. It was short, and it was short in the back and on the sides, but it was almost a pompadour in the
Yeah.
front,
Uh-huh.
which lent to this classic silhouette that when we think of classic Anita Baker, we all think of her arms kind
Mm-hmm.
of pulled to the side, her hands sticking out in claw-like formation, stiff, and her shaking from side to side,
Yes.
in rhythm with the music and the heightened emotions that she's feeling as she's singing about this sweet love that we're going to come to, that which took over radio. Crazy, crazy radio presence, and the hair shaking back and forth. Before you heard the music, you saw that, you knew that's Anita Baker. And I
Yes.
said all that to say, you become iconic quickly, and we've talked about this in plenty of episodes of Q Points. There's plenty for you to go back and listen to, where we talk about, sometimes your presence, it could be something physical, it could be a garment, becomes a lot more iconic, even more so than the music. And I
Yeah.
just wanted to tie that in, because she is, like I said, the people's auntie. And for all that, all the fodder about her not being the nicest and
Mm-hmm.
not being the most pleasant throughout her career, we still we still pay homage to that haircut. We pay homage to the physicality of her performance on stage, and we pay homage, of course, now to this music. Because did your mom or any of your aunts have that haircut? I know I have two aunts
Uh
that had that haircut.
yeah, so definitely aunts had that haircut. So my
Mm-hmm.
aunt Poppy definitely had that look going on in the 80s.
Yep.
There's actually a picture, I'm going to find it, of my aunt in the 80s, and she's rocking a version of that style. I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
find that and put it up. It's on my Facebook. But I'm glad you mentioned this, Sir Daniel, because I think it's important to contextualize Anita Baker in this album in the time period that it's released too, because there's a lot of stuff going on when Rapture comes out. So hip hop is starting to bubble. Um, um, uh, the R&B girlies are becoming pop girlies now. So you got like
They're
Janet Jackson
dancing.
and Patti LaBelle and like
Mm-hmm.
Diana Ross, and like all of these girls are like now pop stars now. And then Anita Baker is showing up with this jazzy R&B album with this pop thing that Nelson George at the time called retro-nuevo, is how he described it. And I loved it because, and I think it encompassed like, because we also have Sade in here, right? That's
True.
that
True.
this other group that's kind of like doing what we would call throwback
Mm-hmm.
music, but in an updated way. And so you mentioned Sweet Love, Sir Daniel, and I want to just sit with the fact that I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna just read the track list for Rapture, because when you hear it, it goes crazy, right? So Rapture opens with Sweet Love. So that huge piano intro, everything you know about that song, that's the opening of the record. Goes to You Bring Me Joy, goes to Caught Up in the Rapture, goes to Been So Long, goes to Mystery, goes to No One in the World, goes to Same Old Love, goes to Watch Your Step. You have Vesta Williams as one of the background vocalists on this
My
album.
gosh.
You have folks that are on this, but just that idea of the first song that we get from the record, and I vividly remember Video Soul and this Anita Baker song coming on, and yes, it was a slow jam, or a mid tempo because it's kind of mid tempo-y too.
Hmm.
But even as a kid, I was like, yes, yes to this because of the clean production. You want to talk about a pristine
But
sounding song.
Jerry, before you go any
Yeah.
further, as you were talking about her coming onto the scene and George Nelson giving her
Oh,
that
Nelson George,
label
uh-huh.
Nouveau.
Hmm.
Nelson George, giving her the label of what was it again?
Retro
Nouveau,
Nouveau.
retro nouveau. Jerry, talk about the octaves that she's singing because no one was singing in that octave
No.
on the radio and crossing over to pop. Please talk about the
Yes. Oh
octave.
my God. I'm so glad you mentioned that because I didn't even think about that. That is such an interesting. So Anita Baker has a much deeper voice. So if you just go to all of the women that we just talked about, right? Anita Baker, ooh, and Sade in a lot of ways are
The
down
two of them,
there.
yeah, in the basement,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? They're in the basement and using that emotion that's there to kind of bring it up. But I think the thing, so thank you for mentioning that, Sir Daniel, because I think that's important because on radio, everything was bright and kind of high.
in the
And Anita
rafters,
Baker
baby.
was like, I am going to slow this down. You bring me joy. You know what I mean?
And seduce the hell out of y'all with this tone, this intonation that I'm
Right.
bringing. Am I speaking lower now because we're talking about Anita Baker?
Probably.
Is that what's happening? Because we're entering the quiet storm.
Yes. And so that part I think is key too. So in the 1980s, thanks to our good brother Melvin Lindsay, the Quiet
Yes.
Storm format in black radio, we live for the Quiet Storm. Well, one, it's the end of our day.
Mm-hmm.
Two, we are going to hear new stuff and old stuff. And Anita Baker starts to slip. Like this record, almost every song, except for Watch His Step, which is more of an up tempo song, but every other song can fit into Quiet Storm. But I think the song Been So Long really does like encapsulate uh, what I feel like Anita Baker's Quiet Storm impact is. One of the things
Yes.
I love is that in the 80s we would see this a lot, where there might be a song that was like not an official single but it becomes
Mm-hmm.
like a Quiet Storm radio staple. And so Been So Long for me, when I hear that song, one, it gives me the good feels because it puts me right back in 1986, but also it's like the power of what good music can do. So even though this is an album cut, the radio still play that thing. That thing is still popping on the Quiet Storm.
And shout out to the power of local terrestrial radio. Um, Man, we literally we had it so good back then when because the local program director could insert those songs in rotation that were album cuts, not necessarily released as singles from the album, but had the autonomy to place them in rotation to fit a format like a Quiet Storm. We had it so good back then. But I guarantee you, J Ray, after listening to that song again and hearing it and hearing the power of that song, I guarantee you somebody was conceived
Mm-hmm.
to that song.
Yeah.
There is a what of 1986, so it's 40 years, right?
Yeah.
That's math. Is it 40
That's
years?
40 years. Yeah.
There's a 40-year-old right now,
Mm-hmm.
millennial, young millennial that was conceived off of Been So Long. So thank you, mom and your dad, but also thank Anita Baker.
Sir Daniel, like, so Anita Baker arrives squarely in the music video era of things.
Mm-hmm.
And so we got a chance to see her. That's how we knew the Anita Baker rock. I call it the Anita
The
Baker rock. Also, she
the
was
Anita
wearing a lot
Rock.
of flowy dresses, like the dresses.
Yes,
So Anita had a dress with a
it's very
belt,
praise and worship.
very praise and worship.
Ecumenical dancer. No, it's very Alvin Ailey dance
Yes.
company with the flowing dresses. And at the time, as you mentioned, Janet, we're talking about 86, all of these women dropping around the same time and creating an atmosphere of sound of black woman sound, black woman music. We had balance. So yes,
Hmm.
you had Janet in a crop top and some black jeans and a mushroom cut, dancing her ass off in a warehouse. But to balance that out, you have Anita Baker crooning, standing flat footed in the center of a stage and just emoting for her life
Mm.
on this record. And that gave black women choices. And we all know that if you have choices, you feel empowered. And so if an empowered black woman can raise her children with or without,
Hmm.
let's be
Let's keep it a buck.
honest
Yep.
about the time of
Yeah,
the
this is the time.
we're
This is
talking
the
about
middle of the crack
uh,
era.
a middle of a crack era. I'm a latchkey kid myself, so we talking about black women raising families on their own and working and trying not to be a statistic. So if you have all of those things, but this music and this imagery is empowering you, then you are able to push forward and still raise a nation of people like J. Ray and myself that can sit here before you and pay homage to these women as well as preserve the history that they created.
Sir Daniel, what is one of your favorite songs from Rapture?
So I y'all know me. I'm a up tempo guy. I'm a double clap kind of guy, and there's not a lot of that on this album, but there is a song on the album that I first of all, the New Orleans bounce producers and DJs love this song,
Hmm.
and they will throw that beat underneath the song in a heartbeat. But I also remember seeing the video, and it's very Detroit because Anita
Hmm.
Baker is roller skating in this
Yes.
video. She's first of all, she's wearing jeans.
Yes.
It's like, oh, you
That's like
have
the first,
legs
like,
under
oh,
there.
Anita's got like jeans on.
She's got jeans on and a sweatshirt, so it's kind of toned down. And she's roller skating, which, of course, we know is roller skating is, as our friend Marcus Borders brought to us, and check that episode out with
Yes.
Marcus Borders, is so important to the Black community and how we build community and release stress. And she's sing about this love that no matter 365 days of the year, you got the same old
Same
love,
old
baby. You know what I'm
love.
saying?
Come
The same
on.
old love. And it's so inspiring in the way it presents itself with the melody and the chords, and of course her singing. So that, my friends, Same Old Love is my favorite Anita Baker song from this album. And when I think back on the music video, also it's very apparent to me that yes, this song could be about romantic love,
Mhm.
but this song is clearly also about her love for Detroit.
Yeah.
And if you all go back and watch the music video for Same Old Love, you will see that Detroit is featured in this video in such
It's a character. Hmm.
a loving and sentimental way, because of course Detroit was one of the great black cities
Hmm.
of our history here in this country called America, one of the booming black cities, unfortunately, that has kind of met a slow, I don't want to say demise, but it's never completely recovered
Yeah.
from what happened in the mid to late 80s, well 70s actually.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but just to say that, Anita Baker not only put on for the jazzy, basement singers out there, she put on for her city. She put
Hmm.
on for Detroit in a major way. So we got amazing singing, we got amazing songs. Then we also got amazing visuals. They weren't calling them visuals back there. They were
Yeah.
just videos. But we had amazing videos from this woman, J. Ray. To your point at the beginning of this podcast, Anita Baker came out
Swinging.
swinging on
Swinging.
this album. Yes.
Yeah. So Rapture went on to win awards. Rapture went on to just become a phenomenon. I mean, she not only became a staple on Black radio. Anita Baker crossed over and had pop fans, and so yeah, I'm glad we got the opportunity to spend some time reminiscing. It's the 40th anniversary of Anita Baker's Rapture. And
Mm-hmm.
if you haven't heard the record in a while, go back and play it because it's a no skips record. Oh my God, it still holds up to this day. And if you've never heard Rapture, this is the perfect time to go back and revisit the album and just also revisit the career of Anita Baker, who, to your point, uh, uh, she came out swinging. There was no time to play when Anita Baker hit the scene, and there is also no time to play with Q points, y'all. So support us in what we do. You know what I mean? So if you can see our faces and hear our voices, subscribe wherever you are. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your colleagues, because if you enjoy Q Points, chances are they will enjoy Q Points as well. Visit our website at qpoints.com where you can become a member. Membership has its privileges. You can watch all of our episodes of Q Points Live, which happens every Thursday at 8 p.m. You can watch our QP Science 3000, where me and Sir Daniel watch some music videos. You can watch a whole bunch of other exclusive content that is exclusively for members. So, and it also helps to keep the lights on in Q Points land. Check us out on Substack, where we have some additional content, and you can shop our store at store.qpoints.com. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all.
Absolutely. And like I say at the end of every episode, in this life, you have a choice. You can either pick up the needle or you could let the record play. I'm DJ Sir Daniel.
My name is J Ray, y'all.
And this is Q Points Podcast, dropping the needle on Black music history. We will see you on the next go round, 365 days of the year.
Yes. Peace, y'all.